Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, as while Yuri Cosmos continues to spin, kind of sickeningly actually to watch it. We found out a lot of information from him last episode, including a Magatama unlock, where we learnt more about 7 years ago, the fact that so much stuff mirrors what is happening now, and we learnt about the Hope capsule actually having been destroyed while in police possession by the sound of things. Very suspicious. Also, the fact that Blackwell seems to be completely innocent if things work out the way things are. So with that said, we need to investigate even further, deeper into this case. We need to learn more about 7 years ago. So we've been directed towards the Space Museum. Let's get on our way. Now I'm wondering if that slash in that coat that we can see on the left there is anything after all in the end, because let's face it, I put it out in the last case, and it came to be nothing. It looks so weird to be there. Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh, wow, look at that photo of the team. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everyone looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article too. Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope Space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. And so we've got the Hat 1 exhibit added to our evidence stash. And a jacket one of them wore, including the spaceship, newspaper clippings, and more. Hello? Is it the robot? Oh, what? Juniper? Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here? I heard Athena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here, at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm going to do my very best to defend her. Athena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Miss Woods, could you tell me more in detail? Right, so we found real Juniper's relation to this game in some senses. The childhood friend Link is super important. Athena's mum worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist working at a space research facility? Well, look at Solomon. I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Okay, what's the sad memory then? A sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Athena's mum, in the robotics lab. She was murdered. What? What? After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school. Poor Athena. And all this time, she never logged on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times, hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. So the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Court's case. That's right. And I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy. So tell us about young Athena then. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. Huh. I wonder what kind of research it was. Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. It brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Oh, Daddy! Show her that picture! Atta girl, good idea. Right, that picture. I take it you mean the one we just got? No, not move. Present. The Hat One exhibit. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Oh look, there's Athena's mum. The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metis Cykes. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat One launch? What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is? Thank you for your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. So we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. We've got our plates full, Daddy. We can fit it all in before the day is through. The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. And so we get taken on there. The question is, of course, is how did these two not recognize each other? Or why have they been playing completely to the line that they don't recognize each other? Now, I would postulate that in Blackwell's, view, the young girl versus the older, late teens woman that's standing in front of him, there's a bit of a growing difference there. The demeanor, everything is kind of changed. Of course, must have the same name. Maybe he's looked into it after all. I'm guessing he has, but maybe, to be honest, it's just not that important to him. Athena, on the other side, she seems to have locked it away, as you kind of expect a child with trauma probably would have. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business. To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Ternate, the one behind the courtroom bombing incident. He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And what he was saying was so incredible I just had to come right over to hear more. Incredible? What was he saying? Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Ha ha ha! I give you my special permission. Here comes the bomber now. You, what nerve have you to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence? No. Question. Okay. No violence. Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. And just answer me this, Mr. Tenate. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. But what are you talking about? Who else could have been there? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. But what? I don't know who it was. But that's who blew up the courtroom. Oh, but that's who blew up the courtroom. Do you expect us to buy that? Easy there, Trucy. I don't see any psych locks. So I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me. I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow, they've laid it all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. So the phony fancy bomb has been added to the court record as well. It was found in boarding lounge 1 and detonating in courtroom number 4. Fragments are being analysed. 2 pages. There's actually details to it too. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special band of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I have to be off now too. I was just about to question Miss Cykes. You're going to see Athena now? That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go. What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. And after we came all this way too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the Robotics lab, Daddy. Alright, sounds like a plan. So are we going to be given some extended visiting hours then, by the sound of it? Because to be honest, I'd have gone to the robotics lab first no matter what. It's right next door, after all. You don't travel across town and then travel back again. Mind you, they did have visiting hours to kind of beat. Obviously, it's been extended as we head into a new location. A location of which we should find a certain Sister Black Quill. Now that looks like a robot to destroy the world. So this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly 1 floor above the boarding lounge. And where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots... Daddy, look! Over there! Oh, hello! So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah. More or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell? I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well. Come to spoil our fun. Just when I was enjoying our alone time. Trucy! And Mr. Wright. If it's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own. And I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab. Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. Okay, how can I get your permission? Right, about what happened. I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed, and they all lived happily ever after. Daddy, say something to her. And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? Because she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you. Or should I say, former subordinate? I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? No, he just wants to know the truth. Phew, all this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk. Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Terran? That's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. You mean he's just wearing his coat? Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran? Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran? I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts? Yeah, right. And I'm a spirit medium. Sorry, but apparently, scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena, no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago. Okay, tell me more. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too? Well, if you're the one who's asking, Apollo. Come on, hunk of junk. You tell the story. But Miss Aura, that's private information. If you won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Good. Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me. I'm ready to utilize my blast processing ability to impart all available information. Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now. The bodies of all the robots that come from this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much younger then. Yikes. Better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Klonko. And then our hearts were created by that great genius, Dr. Metis Cykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Yeah. Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at a desk. Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that are left of Metis here on Earth. The robots are all that's left? Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? We built the ultimate creations together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling Dr. Cykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Keep your trap shut, hunk of junk. Right, Klonko and Ponko. They're children in a weird way. Klonko is an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Cykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain, and I can always repair his body. Besides, their hearts aren't actually in their bodies. What do you mean by that? The program Metis wrote runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. These bodies are really just peripherals. So, I can do anything I want to them. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. But why are you people looking into such an old case now anyway? Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. So Daddy's gonna find out who killed Dr. Cykes too! I'm sure you're aware of who Metis' killer is. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell. Or so it seems. And that's a quaint way of putting it. Are you implying you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now. But that's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it. To help me be sure. Right, so Dr. Cykes and Simon Blackwell. I was the one who introduced Simon to Metis, you know. He wanted to learn psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court. Ah, Prosecutor Blackwell's forte is the infamous power of suggestion technique. Exactly, and he was oddly serious about it. Rather than a teacher-student relationship, he treated him more like how a loyal samurai would treat his sovereign. Nah, he seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. He even got along well with that miserable little princess. Why do you call Athena the princess anyway? Well, she is Metis' daughter after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then. What does it settle? None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people going to hang around in here anyway? What? But we came here to take a look around. You think you can just waltz in and ransack a person's lab? Show me a search warrant. We're not the police, so we don't have one. Then get out. Now! Clonko, show them out. Certainly, Miss Aura. Ouch! Don't push! My apologies, I'm just following orders. Ah! So we got pushed all the way out. What a way to get shown out. The nerve of that woman. What's with that horrible attitude? I guess it's just how she is. And why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay, just like how Aura lost Dr. Cykes. I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Hey, wait, Trucy, come back! She's gone. Huh. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. I guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. Literally the only option that comes up is move. Left all alone, that's kind of sad. But to be honest, it's not too bad to have Trucy looking over Apollo at this point in time. I've just lost my ally. Who's going to tell Phoenix he's wrong now? Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And after that, there was always someone by my side. And now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Huh? There's something on the floor. What's the letter doing here? Hey Nick, it's been a while, huh? Miss me? I know this handwriting. I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must be really been something. Although weird is part of the course for you. I think she, or whatever paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part in my training. So instead, think of me as you watch those Still Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll cheer you right up. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, but she's a spirit medium. This Magatama I use on Cyclops. Maya is the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? Ah! Ah! Yes! Oh, it's you, Pearls! No, it's not Maya. I know, that sounds really mean. It's like, oh, it's just Pearls and not Maya. I'm not saying it like that, honestly, but it would be great to have Maya again, you know? I want to see Maya. Everyone wants to see Maya. Nick wants to see Maya. You know it's gotta be true, there's gotta be love in the air. One day, please, pretty please. All the burgers that have a burger wedding cake, it'll be amazing at El Dunes. But still, Pearls is here. I think Pearls is very good backup. Send in the phase. How you doing, Pearly? How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Faye, though I call her Pearls. She is Maya's cousin, who is also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. I've known her since she was 8 years old, but Apollo and Athena only met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. But I can't believe there was a big explosion here. The office doesn't look any different. She's even further off on the details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. Pearls is Aaron. You've been sent by Maya to back me up by any chance? Did you read the postscript on the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of the office. So Pearly said she would come help you. Isn't she sweet? You better thank her. Oh, so that's what you're doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls, but it looks like this is as clean as this place is ever going to get. Maya and Pearls. Thanks to these two. I'm starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Now that I'm here, I'm going to whip this place into shape. You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about this case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. So instead of going to view a certain someone, we are going to see Blackwell instead. Well, pretty much everyone we want to visit at this point is at the detention center. But thank you, Pearly, for appearing. Do you want to come with me or not? That's what I really want to wonder. Well, look who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. All this time, and you haven't said a word. It's even turning your hair grey. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Ah, Aura's here. Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today's all there is when there's no tomorrow. When there's no tomorrow? What is she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. Alright, fine. I see you're just not going to listen, no matter what I say. I've had it. If that's the way you're going to be, I have another plan up my sleeve. I hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Wow. I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, dunno. It looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. He bounced back to business quick. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was just the thing to do. It was the just thing to do, even. But as a result, Sykes Dono was arrested. Was that the just thing to do, too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. I wouldn't take things so lightly if I were you, right, Dono? This is blade-proof glass, right? And so, Simon Blackwell stands in front of us. Fulbright is there, obviously having brung him from jail. And Aura seems to have given up on her brother at this point in time. What if there is no tomorrow? We'll find out tomorrow. More Dual Destinies. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.